I noticed that I'm a serious hand talker. Like I'm sitting here right now, like I'm trying to hold on to my Yeti and sit on my other hand.
And Sean's a thumper.
Well, I'm telling you, like I was seriously, like here I am again, right? And the problem is I look at this monitor in front of us and like I want to be able to, so usually I would talk like this, but because I'm like trying to make it look like, so people must think like I'm really weird. Because if you listen to it, it's not a big deal. But when you're watching on YouTube, you're like, what is this guy's deal with his hands?
Right.
Like I'm like just going to sit on them.
I think you're all right.
Yeah. Why don't we start out with a Happy New Year to everyone?
Yeah, for sure. Happy New Year. This is a big year for us as a team. I call it a team. Got a lot of stuff dropping. We're 2.5 months away to the biggest fishing show Ontario has ever seen.
Right.
CanCast, April 2nd, People Memorial Center. Tickets going on sale next week.
Nothing but fishing?
Nothing but fishing. 155 booths sold so far. And another 65 personal tables, and I'm still going to ram some more in there.
Wow.
But here's the thing. There's not like a good building and a bad building. The way we're going to spread it all out is like you have to hit every building.
Well, yeah, of course.
Not going to have like A over here and B over there. It's like, yo, did you do the whole show? Because like if not, you missed the deal over there. That's how we're setting that up. I've had that talk with a lot of vendors, right?
Is it going to be like a site map, vendors map, or anything?
Everything.
Like that?
Once we got it all official, it'll probably be a couple weeks before the show. The vendors see it first. And, well, I don't always let the vendors see it because they all want a different spot. So you kind of get what you get, right? Unless you're like Musky Maniacs and you give me a hoodie as a bribe, you'll probably get your first choice of booth. But it's, you know what I mean, though? But because you just can't. We try to accommodate what everybody wants. But the floor plan is a big job. And we do it all the time. But the first version's done. And it looks pretty wicked.
Honestly, I didn't think there was a bad spot in that whole building
there
last year anyways.
And the way we're going to make
there wasn't.
The way we're going to make it flow this year, there's not a bad spot.
And plus, the lineup was a big deal this year. And then this year, we have 8 gates.
So, well, this is the number one thing we need to address. So we're meeting at the Memorial Center tomorrow.
Right.
A whole meeting on just traffic control. They want this event to be so successful in Peterborough that they're like saying like, we're going to help you make this happen. So they're going to go through with their operations manager on the best way to funnel people through that building.
Right.
As well as draw us up a site plan on our maximum capacity level.
Perfect. So that building, the Peterborough Pete's play there, right?
Yeah. Has a capacity of 9,000 people.
So 9,000 people. So they funnel all those people in within an hour before the game.
Oh, if that.
Right? If that.
Yeah.
So last year we had 5,000 people.
Yeah. 5,000 people through the door. We probably had 3,000 people that didn't
walk away. Because the lineup was crazy. But we had a smaller building. We had capacity issues, and we had to shut it down. Like we filled that building quick.
Yeah. We had a capacity of 1,200 people.
Right.
We're gonna we've already got 10 times that now.
Right.
So I want people to listen. Like I already people out of the line. We're on top of this. Trust me. Like I've lost so much sleep about like how we get that line through. Show up, you will be through quick. You have my word.
Big time.
You have my word. And bring lots of money because there's deals and there's so much stuff launching new product wise plus deals.
Yeah, new stuff that you're going to see.
New stuff, used stuff, clearance stuff. Remember, we're the weekend after the Bassmaster Classic where everything launches. The dealers are ready.
Right.
They're coming there that show with it.
Nice.
And then we got tons of musky stuff coming. We got the trout guys coming. We got a fly shop coming, which I'm not going to say the name of it yet, but it's a big one. So we're going to announce them a little bit later. They might even be on here. Tons of huge clothing brands coming. Every top fishing manufacturer is official, like as far as rods and reels go. Like we're not missing one.
And they're bringing their big booths?
They're bringing the big booths.
Oh,
they're bringing big booths for like the one-day show it is.
Yeah.
Like 10 by 20 setups and the whole 9 yards. And they love the idea of a one-day format. Quick, high energy. We love it. So we're going to open doors at 9 a.m. Now start paying attention to our social media pages. We're going to start rolling out details daily and weekly.
So what are the social media pages to look at?
Instagram, we're going to put it down here below, CanCast Fishing, and our Facebook page, CanCast Fishing Tackle Show. And I just haven't got on the Twitter bandwagon yet. Maybe that'd be a good job for you. You look like a tweeter.
Yeah.
You look like a tweeter.
Yeah. I'm about to come across this table at you. I don't tweet.
So,
do I look like a tweeter?
Or like a
not you. I'm not asking you.
Hey, come on. I'm just saying, you and those big thumbs. I can see you on the phone.
Yeah. It's hard enough like this.
Well,
just
anyways,
it takes me 15 minutes to text my wife.
That's why you always call me. I text Sean, he calls me. Hey,
yeah.
I can't text.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. So
there's this, and then there's this, right?
Oy.
Do the math.
Yeah. So lots of news dropping, and it's only going to get more ramped up from here. I'm telling you right now, like this is going to be something big.
We got something else big happening too, don't we? Did you pick up something the other day?
We're not even allowed to talk about that, are we?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to talk about that one on the air.
Why? Off. Sorry, Lee. So now you know where to end it.
Just beep that out.
Are we not talking?
Well, I don't know if we're going to talk about the Timbo. We weren't supposed to talk about the Timbo.
Are we not talking about?
We're not talking about Timbo. Don't you read Messenger, bud?
No, I don't. No, dude.
No, he
On the
didn't
show
read it.
day?
I had to tag him in it on the way here because I want to make sure he was coming tonight. He didn't read the messenger.
No, he phoned me and just asked me if I was good.
Yeah, I'm like, he coming tonight? Oh, yeah.
Well, you forgot to mention that before the show.
Well, I don't. The Timbo is a big topic of discussion for after this podcast.
Okay.
I got
So we're
some-
not allowed to talk about the Timbo.
I don't know if we should talk about the Timbo.
So we're
Stop
not-
talking about the Timbo.
No, not talking
Okay,
about Timbo.
we got
So
some.
the
We got
Timbo's secret.
we got some guests coming on. So first, big thanks to Yolotech stepping up, title sponsor of the trade show, always backing us up here on the podcast. But tonight, I'm very excited to have these guys in here because they know something that we don't about musky fishing. Basically, everything.
Like everything. Yep.
Yeah. So in studio
Right.
tonight, we got the legends. We have John Mulligan from Musky Maniacs. Awesome, welcome. And we have probably one of the most famous musky guides in all of Bowmanville.
Right. If not the.
Greg Guitard. How's it going, guys?
Welcome, gentlemen.
Good.
Awesome. So I appreciate you guys coming on here because we have a CanCast. Yeah, we talk a lot of bass, but we have so many people that attend the show. They're multi-species anglers. And we're in the heart of lakes of the Kawarthas. In the heart of the Kawarthas, and musky fishing is huge. So we wanted to bring you guys on tonight to talk about everything musky. So thank you guys for coming in. So John, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about what you do. Tell us about Musky Maniacs, how you got into the sport, and we'll go from there.
I started musky fishing probably 12 years ago, 13 years ago. A buddy of mine, he got into it pretty hard, and I'd always see him posting pics, and I'm like, I want to catch one of those things.
Yeah.
So I started fishing here. Like, he actually was living in Kenora at the time. He worked for Hydro One, so he was up there, living up there. So he was just killing it. So I was down here by myself, like getting into it by myself, fishing, and then I got a couple other buddies into it, and then more and more buddies got into it, and then that's just all I did. Now it's all I do, really.
Yeah. So you're musky obsessed, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Look at the smile.
Yeah. So like,
How do you deny that?
so you guys are coming to CanCast, Musky Maniacs.
Yeah.
Awesome clothing company. If you guys haven't checked this stuff out, first off, logo and design is awesome, and the quality is wicked too. That's what I've noticed. Like, it's not like all these other clothing lines where you buy it and it shrinks up and this and that. Like, the stuff is good.
Yeah, like we actually been through a whole ton of stuff before finding the good stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like when it first starting out, like it was tough. And then, now that we got it, we just, it was always about quality, like you buy a shirt, you don't want to wash it, shrink, wash it, put in the dryer, it shrink, and then it's no good, right? You want to be able to keep wearing it. So that was like the main thing, and it pays off. People like it.
So you have like everything from like t-shirts, hats, right to rain suits, right?
Yeah. We got some we got some new raincoats in just for this Christmas. Actually, I brought one to maybe just give someone
A giveaway.
A giveaway.
Oh, giveaway. Not for us guys. For the fans.
Actually, well, I brought everyone something.
Oh, there we go. I'm gonna be digging it out. We'll save it for a little bit. So no, that's cool. So we'll post a picture up. I got my little guy, Musky Maniacs hoodie for Christmas from your store in Peterborough, and my daughter got the pink one at the show last year, and she loves it, man. They look wicked. Like it's something I see my kids wearing like fish on. I'm like, that's sweet. Like it's just cool. You know?
We always try to get more and more of stuff. Try to. Different designs, different logos, and just keep everyone wanting, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love my Musky Maniacs gear, man. I wore that Musky Maniacs hat I got at
the one hat you got looks like it went through World War II.
And I got the shirt with the pin-up girl on the back. Love that one.
Yeah.
No, so there's a pretty valid question, like super valid question.
Your hand talking.
What is it? What is it with musky guys and all these hot chicks? You guys are surrounded by hot chicks.
Look at the mustache.
Is that the mustache?
Wow.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
So what is it?
Just a different attitude. We're badass.
Yeah, it was,
men fish for musky, right?
Oh, this is good. We're gonna keep this going on. Okay,
Here we go.
so since this Mr. Stash over here, Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
I've always just been fishing growing up. Down in Bowmanville, fished with the boys at the creek, and then used to go up to a friend's cottage up in Bob Cajun, and that was where I caught my first muskie, bass fishing. But man, after that thing pulled on the rod, I was like, oh, we got to start doing this more. So I think I was like 13 when that happened, and just every summer after that, I just wanted to keep chasing him. And end of high school, I had the opportunity to go guide up north, so I took it. Caught a 50 and a half my first summer up there, and I was like, man, I got to keep coming to this place. So kept coming up there, did my school, finished up with all that, and now I'm just trying to pursue the career of being a fishing guide.
So like that's your that's your plan. You're gonna guide fish. You're gonna be a fishing guide your whole life, like foreseeable future. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, fish and deer hunt in November.
That's phenomenal. You know what? We had Williams and Mike them go angling on last Christmas special, and it was a blast. And they had a lot of good guide information. The amount of messages we got on Instagram after that show about like how it got people interested in like being the guide is crazy. And I know there's a couple new guys coming on the scene for bass, like Bobby Belmonte. He's coming to CanCast with a booth for his guiding service.
and he's a hammer.
You got Joe Ford that's out here, Corpus. But it seems to be like more young people now are like, I might be a fishing guide. And with however many people got into it with COVID, it seems like there's a chance to actually make a good living at it again.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be shown how to catch a fish.
And 100%. And with the price of like boats and stuff now, it's like, hey, like I could do my 5 charters a year with a guide and catch a fish instead of like owning a boat, insuring it, doing everything, not
Storing
catching
it.
storing it.
Totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but like that's wicked because like the stories you're gonna have in like 20 years of being a fishing guide is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I got a couple
you had a pretty exciting off day this year where you were out by yourself, no?
Yeah.
What time you went musky fishing on your off day?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, he don't stop.
That's dedication.
He don't stop. This guy he's Mr. Outdoors.
Yeah, see what's funny is I was talking with Greg today at the office, Greg McIntyre, and I'm like, hey, just so you know, like we signed Greg, it's hard. He's like, oh yeah, sweet, who's that? And I tell him, like, yeah, he guides and then he goes moose hunt and he comes home and he kills deer and then he goes back wall and he's like, wow. He's got it figured out.
He does. So back to the story. You had an off day,
Yeah. I got a few in the season.
right? And you were out by yourself.
Yeah. I just got back from moose camp actually. And it was kind of, water just finished turning over. The temperature started kind of stabilizing. And I had 4 days before some buddies came up to do a 4-day trip with them. So I just fished hard. I was like, it was actually my first fall fishing Lac Seul. I used to always leave end of September. So I didn't actually know very much of where the fish were that time of year. So I was like, I got to get out there and find some of these fish. So I found a little zone, and first fish I got off it was 47. And I fell in love with the spot. It was picture perfect. So there's one day I went out, everyone was trolling. I was like, you know what? I'm going to cast today. It just seems like a casting day. I pulled up on the same spot where I got the 47. It's a little current seam, and caught a 53-inch muskie. It's the biggest one I've ever caught.
Caught it all on film.
Got on film, yeah.
That we're going to show.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And I was speechless. I didn't know what to do. I had to take a seat. Once I had the fish in the net, I kind of sat back and let the fish chill out a bit, and I had to chill out a bit because it was pretty surreal. Never, always dreamt about catching a fish that big, but never actually personally caught something that big.
I'm still dreaming.
So have you been in the 50-inch club yet?
I have not.
Now it's like let's back up. So like
it's sad to say, but yeah.
But let's back up for people that don't know what the 50-inch club is. Like in the musky world, it's a huge deal. Like it's not something you downplay. Like, hey, you got a 50. Like I've seen guys have like on their jackets and stuff. Is it like a patch you get or something? Like I've seen it at the Odyssey and that. Like
It's like a brand, like the Yellowstone brand on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like it's a big deal, right? Like how many people? Okay, so let's back up. In the Kawarthas, how often is a 50-inch caught?
Probably not that often.
Okay, Lake of the Woods.
More often.
More often.
Yeah.
St. Lawrence?
St. Lawrence, if it's not 50, it's 49 out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
You're not
big.
catching nothing small.
So what is the Ontario record? Anyone know?
I think it's 57 inches or something, but it goes by weight.
Yeah, I'm pretty
sure?
like the world record's definitely by weight. I want to say that it was around 60 inches, but it was like around 58 pounds.
Wow.
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked it up in a while, but
I know Dale McNair got a giant, but there was a little bit of controversy in there because he didn't bring it in and kill it. He released it, so they don't recognize it.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of world record muskies that have been caught and probably never even spoke of.
So
That's a big part of it for you guys is bringing that fish in super quick, putting it in your net, and then letting it go alive. Like
If I ever got a world record fish, I would never care to get it dealt with.
So that's my next question.
Take a picture, let it go.
You beat me to it. Like, it kind of seems to go against everything we've always been taught. Even like when what was that one caught on Erie, that 10-pound smallmouth?
Oh, I did that.
Like he had to like kill it. You know what I mean? But I
Did they kill that fish?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll confirm that by next episode. But I feel like I share the same opinion. Like if I catch a dinosaur like that, I'm gonna get my pictures, get my measurements, whatever, and like it's back in.
Yep.
Now I did catch a 42-pound salmon in BC. That's a huge tie, even out there. They haven't seen one that big in 15 years.
Wow.
It's different.
And you caught it?
I caught it.
Wow.
Yeah, only luck I've ever had. Hey, I didn't have bad luck. I wouldn't have any. Yeah, it was just my turn to get the rod.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever told that story on the air. I'm going to tell it.
So you're trolling for these things?
But we're using mooching reels, which is sweet,
Gotcha.
right?
What's a mooching reel?
So,
It's one that you
kind of like
for?
kind of like a center pin or whatever. I guess you describe it. Like it goes back and forth. That'd be a good way.
Yeah, it's a center pin with a drag system.
Center pin with drag system. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So they're freaking sweet because you got the drag system, but you still got to use your hands and whatever. So like, hey, the rod goes off. Hey, Kyle, your turn. It's like second fish of the day. Yeah, okay. Because you just like take turns. Because when you're out there, we're at Eagle Nook Resort with Jeff Hannock. He works for Greywood now, as well. Part owner in Eagle Nook Sport Fishing out there. Guides half the year. Unbelievable place to fish. And when you go with that guy, it's just rods all day. Rainbow, cohos, whatever, kings, all this stuff. Second fish day, go grab it. Okay. Also just like, holy crap, what's this thing doing? And then like it got wrapped up in all this kelp, like the seaweed that flows, and it was like dragging in a piece of plywood, right? So we like get it. Jeff grabs it. Jeff's freaking out. He like, it's on the deck, and I'm like, holy, this is a big fish. Like I know it's a big fish, but like I'm not a salmon guy, right? I've salmon fishing in Bowmanville all the time.
So you don't really know.
No, I knew it was big, but I'm like, okay, cool. Hopefully it's a tie. Like that's what I'm thinking. And he's losing his mind. He gets on, there's boats all around here, right? Gets on the radio. Boys, he's at a 40, hit the deck. The radio was like lighting up, whatever. He's jumping up and down. He's hugging me, taking pictures. He's got it up like it's his fish, and it's in his boat. It's a big deal for a guide, right? You can maybe tell. So
Absolutely.
I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Like, so he's like, you got no idea. Like, we haven't seen one this big in 15 years. I wish we were in the tournament because there's like tournaments that go on, all this stuff. So anyways, we get it, and obviously the thing's dead. And it was 42 pounds after we bled it. So because we ate it, we brought it home. So long story short, like partway through the day, all these boats want to see this fish. So like I stop, and all these boats come around, and like they want me to hold it up. People are like clapping. And I'm like, hey, it's a really big deal. So at 2:30, we go back to the lodge, like the dock. There's like everybody waiting there to see this fish, like all the boats, the locals, like everybody, because they heard about it on the radios. Like it was insane. People want pictures of this fish. I'll send the pictures, will be posted here. All this stuff. Like I just feel like a rock star, and all I did was grab the rod. Right?
That's all right. You got it in, buddy.
We go up. We have dinner at the lodge. They like stop dinner, like have a ceremony, like award me with like a pin. Like a tie pin and a plaque, and like, no idea how big a deal this was. So I got all the measurements, so I'm gonna get a replica made.
Yeah,
because like a 42 pound is a huge fish. 42 or 44. Either way, she was a tank. She was over 40, and but just like the girth on it, right? Like it's, you see the picture, and it's the size of me, like my upper body. Like it's nuts.
Wow.
So anyways, I don't know where I was going with this, but I was saying like we killed that one because it's salmon. It's different, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna die, but I don't think I could kill that muskie.
No. And fishing Lac Seul, it's actually a catch and release fishery only.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So even if it happened, you legally cannot keep a fish. Like you can't fish muskies on Lac Seul with a sport or a conservation license.
Oh,
You
yeah?
have to have a sport fishing license.
I think that goes
that's
here,
the
too.
same here too. Yeah, you're not allowed to fish muskie here unless you have a sport.
Yeah.
Right, you're not allowed to target them.
So is there any weirdos out there that eat muskie?
Oh, I'm sure they're out there. Just like guys that fish for bass.
You hear about it.
No, it's got to be strict inside.
Okay, that's back. That's all right.
No.
All right. We're going to have a fist fight for the end of the night. Okay. So
Like, it's got to be a big muskie before you're even legal to keep it here.
Here's 44 inches.
Yeah, most lakes are just a trophy class fish, probably for replica purposes or mounting purposes. But yeah.
44 inches.
That's for around here, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Lake of the Woods is 52 or 53 inches. It's something super
I think it's 50,
big.
54, right? They got that.
Yeah,
they got that clothing company 54 bust.
Yeah.
So
It's a big fish that you can.
Giants.
have you ever had a replica made of like your 53?
No, but that's one that I would get done. But I always told myself it's got to be 55.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's got to be 43, Sam.
Well, it's just There's a 55 out there, so
Yeah, I'd be good if just 4.5 pound bass.
Yeah.
Get that made.
All right, settle a question that's been on everybody, well, not everybody's mind, but a lot of people's mind. Musky, I-E or Y? How do you spell it?
honestly,
Well, how do you spell it in the clothing line, John?
there you go.
I hope it's right.
I use the Y.
You use a Y?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think if you're gonna say musky in a sentence and continue using the word musky, it should be spelt the same the whole sentence. But I don't know. I don't really think
Yeah,
it.
doesn't matter?
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
I like Y.
I like Y.
Why don't we just settle this right now? Y is the official way.
Yeah, it's official.
Done. You heard it here first. We're stamping
Executive
it.
decision
Yeah.
made right here.
January 11th at 7:39. The official decision was made in an undisclosed location in Ontario
Musky with a Y.
with a Y.
There you go.
Musky Maniacs. Check them out. What's your website?
Muskymaniacs.ca.
Okay, so let's go back to you're a businessman, you work full time, you run Musky Maniacs. Tell us about who's involved in the company with you and how it came to be.
So, about 2017, it'd just be me and my buddies. There's 10 of us that are hardcore muskie, and we just wanted to make it something more, right? We just wanted to do something more with it. So we always talked about filming and doing this, and so I went out. I bought 5 GoPros. I got my electrician buddy to put USB ports all over my boat. And my another one of my
That was
buddies,
before the Yellow Tech days, okay, guys?
But another one of my buddies, he was right into it too, just talking about, let's start filming, let's start doing something with it. And he actually went out and bought a brand new Ranger 620. We both wrapped our boats Musky Maniacs, and we started filming. We started, doing something with it. But we'd get good footage, but then we'd film over it, and then we just didn't have someone to edit it and just properly do it right. So
You need a Woody.
Yeah, editing's all the work, man. This part's easy. Editing, that's what people don't get. And I've always been wish I filmed that hunt, wish you did this. But it's the editing.
Yeah.
It's hours.
But then, I started doing, that's how I kind of started doing the clothing, right? My friend, my buddy Luke Patterson, his girlfriend Meg McGregor, she's fishes Shimano.
Yep.
She without her, she helped me get her up and running, right? She made the logo, the original logo, and she
was at the Musky Odyssey, no?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I remember.
She helped me fire it up for sure. Without her, it probably never would have got started. But now, my sister, she's fully involved. It's pretty much me and my sister now. She does more than what I do.
There you go.
Without her, she's pretty much the boss, right?
Why don't we? Why isn't Kate here then? Instead, why did we invite John? I want the boss. I want the boss next time.
But yeah, she's awesome too, right? And we never thought it would be where it's at now. It's come a long way for sure. And it's it never was supposed to be a clothing line. It was just supposed to be making clothes for the boys, right? And then other people wanted it, friends liked it, so that we fired up an online store, started doing it that way, and then got into the malls,
Bikinis and everything, the whole nine
shows,
yards.
yeah.
Do you have a 50 plus shirt that you only sell to people that can prove it?
No, that's been a thought though.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50-inch club can make a special shirt. Yeah, for sure.
you know what, for like such a niche market, you guys done such a fantastic job on it. Like fishing's niche in its own sense, which is crazy because there's more people that own a fishing license than golf and all that stuff, but we still call it niche market. But to do it just with one particular species, which you know, and it's pretty cool, like to see, like especially around our area, like you see musky maniacs everywhere, like all the time. And then like even like the store in the mall, like people like, oh yeah, I saw like a fishing store. It's, you know, they don't in the mall, like they don't pay, you know what I mean? But it's like you're getting your brand out there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So let's tell us about that. So you guys just had a pop up. You were in the Lansdowne Center place in Peterborough for the month over Christmas, basically December, right?
Yep.
How'd that go for you guys? Good.
It went really well. Yeah.
Lots of exposure, like talking to people. Like
yeah. No, it went really well for sure. Like, it's crazy because the mall people, you know, you got grandfathers and sons and everything else coming in. And they just see a fish. They see musky, musky fish, and they don't really know what a musky is, you know. So they're buying something for their grandpa or their son, or, you know. So and then it just gets it out there, you know, and then people wear it, and then, you know, next year they're like, oh, that was good stuff, you know, like. Yeah, let's get some more.
Get some more. Mm-hmm. You gonna do it again next year?
Yeah. Like I kind of want to get like a stationary place, like a year-round store, which would be nice.
Did we clear this with the boss yet?
We've
Kate on board. Kate, if you're listening, we're funneling this to the top.
That's a not yet smile.
She knows. But it's it's a lot of work because like I'm working full time. I'm on my full time job, and so is she, right? So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a passion project. Yeah, it's a lot like what we do here.
Oh, side hustles are real.
Side hustles are real. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So, one thing I always found interesting about musky fishing, and like we're not even gonna get to the lures yet. The lures is a whole nother ball game. Mm-hmm. But you guys aren't afraid to spend like money on good setups. No. And you might not have like the average bass guy has good setups, and we have 30 of them. Mm-hmm. But you guys will have like, I don't know, well, I shouldn't put words in your mouth. How many setups do you have each for rods and reels?
I got like at least 30 setups.
Okay, so you're just as bad as the rest of us. How about you, Greg?
In my boat when I'm fishing, I have usually 2 rods.
2 rods?
Yeah.
But you guys don't skip out, like you use product you trust. Like, I've never had an issue like going to a musky, selling at musky guy, and he'd be, hey, this rod, it's, $400. Yeah, no problem. Like to them, that's like a goal. They're like goalies. They're weirdos like goalies. All of you. No, I'm just kidding. And it's like their stick, right?
Yeah, musky guys are weird.
Yeah. So, like now we have lots of rods that are $130 that are great for the average guy and stuff like that. But like I'm always impressed by the amount of money a musky guy can drop, especially on not just setups but lures.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive lure you guys own?
Personally, not that expensive. I just bought a matlock this fall. First expensive musking bait. It's a trolling bait. I don't even troll, but it was a first fall up there, so I was like, I'll troll, learn the water a little more. So, but I think it was like $200.
Yeah. So John, I heard a rumor like you have a whole collection.
I have a crazy collection
of like high end stuff, right?
Yeah.
So these are like collective,
one of a kind kind of deal, right?
I got some one of a kinds, yeah.
So take us through whatever you want to divulge. Tell us about. Take us through like what's some of your most prized possessions?
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
So I met John at the Musky Odyssey in 2022.
Okay.
At the Musky Odyssey, there was this bait on a table going for auction. John was bidding on this bait. I'm like, what's so special about this bait? He looks at me. He's like, it's the Holy Grail. Okay,
I touched it.
So, and that's where I'm going to finish the story, and I'm going to let John continue.
So you were bidding on this bait.
Yeah.
Did you win it?
I ended up winning it. Yeah.
Can you tell us what you spent on it?
It was $4,300.
I got a picture.
That was recording, I hope. Are we recording? Because it's $4,300. That's going to be, I don't think anyone else is going to walk on here and say a $4,300 lure.
I got a picture of right after he takes this bait in his hands and he's got it, and the grin on his face.
Can we show that picture? You still have it?
Yeah, I sent it in. It's like he's holding a newborn baby right there.
Your girlfriend was probably like, I wish she'd hold me like that.
Right?
He never looks at me like that.
Man, I honestly thought it was going to go for more. Like I think I heard afterwards that like the online part of that auction glitched out. and there was people that were a little upset that I got
You're welcome. I pulled the plug.
So are we dropping the news that you're going to auction this off at CanCast? Re-auction it? All you Musky guys, be at CanCast.
So there was you and another guy, which you knew because you've been up against this guy before, right?
His name's Mark Hornick. His collections puts mine to shame. Like it's insane.
He's a U.S. guy?
He's a U.S. guy. Or no, is he? No, he's not. No, he's not.
Isn't he down somewhere near like southwestern Ontario?
He's actually got a cottage, I think, on Big Bald.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not U.S. But I just know him from auctions, like on different Facebook groups and stuff. Like we're always head to head.
Yeah,
it's either him winning or I'm winning.
Face to face.
No. We've talked about getting out together and stuff.
Tell him to come to CanCast. Yeah. Tell him to come to the social the night before.
Tell him he can be our guest. Tell him he can be our guest of honor if he comes.
Yeah. He probably.
Tell him we'll take care of him.
Come. I'd love to meet this guy.
And tell him even better. Tell him to bring a collection, put it on display.
Like why one Wishmaster? That one I won an auction. I think he's got around 30 of them.
What?
No way.
So the guy could buy another house.
But the thing with the one I bought, so it was more expensive because it came with a certificate of authenticity.
Can you send us a picture?
Yeah, yep. And so he only gave those out at shows, and I know certain shows. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm not 100% sure, but so Mark, I think he's got only two Wishmasters with certificates of authenticity.
Wow.
So he's not just handing the certificates like left, right, and center. It's like it makes that lure that much more special.
Yeah, and I met a guy at the Odyssey who had a big collection of Wishmasters. I think he had around 30 as well, but not one of them had a certificate of authenticity.
So like, what's the range? So you paid $4,300 for this lure without the certificate. What are these things going for?
They could vary.
$1,200.
No matter what.
$1,500.
I don't think you'd find one for under $1,500. Like there's.
So describe this bait though. Is it like a hand carved wooden wire through bait? Like what kind is it?
Yeah, so it's I got it with me. Yeah.
Oh, you have it here. You have it here. What are we holding out for? I literally just asked him, "Can you send us a picture of?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's here."
I thought you a picture of the authenticity. But
authenticity. Yeah. Let's see it. Get it on the table.
That explains the Brinks truck behind you.
Yeah.
So that's this one.
$4,000 bait.
Hang on, wait. Put your gloves on. Put your gloves on first. Don't put fingerprints.
This one, it was also more expensive because it was.
It's
unfished.
Right. Hold it up for the camera so you can see how it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfished. So, you could find them that have been fished. They're going to be cheaper.
So how mad would you be if you lost one of those fishing it?
I would never fish this.
Okay, so what's the most expensive bait you guys would throw? Like, it's probably different in your situation because you're guiding and guys are going to lose and wreck stuff, right, Greg?
Yeah, but for you personally would throw.
Like, I throw, 5 to 1,000, 500 to 1,000.
Wow.
But rarely. Like that. Like the most of these big custom baits, they're crank baits and they're trolling baits, right? And I don't troll all that much either, right? So it's more of just it's artwork, right?
Right.
To me,
it's like the Mona Lisa. It's like
the bigger baits anyway, right? Like the bigger fall baits, right? Like when you're trolling, like I like to cast throughout the day, and then once nightfall hits, then we will troll. But like I'm not going to be, midsummer. I'm not throwing this out there. They're 13-inch, right? Like I'd be more of like a 9-inch or something, right?
See, I look at that same way guys would look at firearms, right? Like, hey, why do you need a $5,000 over/under? Well, I appreciate the craftsmanship and the bear. Like
100%.
And half those guns don't even get shot.
That is a great comment.
Yeah, it's as much as it means.
Like I have tons of guns in my collection that I never shoot, but to me they're like artwork.
Yeah,
I like looking at them, like seeing them. You know what I mean? So
my wife doesn't feel the same though, at all.
about your firearms.
She does not feel the same.
They don't get it.
No.
Well, one day she might be happy. You have them.
But I brought a bunch of other baits too. If you guys want to take a look at them.
Absolutely.
Get them out. Let's go. Let's start talking, man. So, Greg, while he's doing that, how being a guide, you provide all the equipment, or guys show up with their own stuff?
Bit of both.
Okay.
They'll bring their own stuff, but then I'll be like, all right, well.
So what's the rules in this situation? Like, if I was a bass guide and you lost my Ned rig, whatever. But if I'm guiding you and you're guiding me and I lost your $50 musky bait, am I on the hook for that?
It's kind of like an unwritten rule where you kind of just toss the guy to tip at the end of the day that
Covers
on top
it.
of just covers it, whatever. But no, it's just part of fishing.
That's called being a man.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You're
No,
gonna
like,
lose bait.
if I lost the guy's bait, even now, if I lose the guy's Ned rig, hey man, here's some stuff, right? But
Yeah.
Now,
that's what I'm saying.
if
Now,
you,
I don't
if you
fish a
lose,
Ned rig.
now if you lose a nice bait at the start of the day and then complain you didn't catch any fish,
There you go.
Okay, you had mentioned that you typically carry 2 rods. What are they? Like what do you throw?
Summertime, it's a topwater and a tail rod, and then if I want to, I'll have like a stick bait rod for the back of the boat. Like if I have 2 guys casting, I'll usually have a guy at the front with a bucktail, and then a middle guy will have a topwater on, and then I'll use like a stick bait or something, like a suic or some sort of walking bait or whatever.
So like what in Lac Seul, is that how you say it right? Lac Seul.
Yeah, Lac
What
Seul.
boat are you guiding out of? Like what style of boat?
Well, I guide out of a couple boats. It's Troy Mansfield's my boss. He supplies the boats for me for now.
Yep.
Until I get my own.
Yeah.
I have my own, but it's just a little too small to guide out of.
And
What's an ideal boat for musky fish?
An ideal boat would be probably a 21-foot Lund Impact. They're just good all-around boats. You can put a lot of people in them.
I think I want an impact.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it
Nice
pretty
boat.
hard. I think I want an impact. We were talking about that night at sushi. I always had an impact back of mine, but the night when we went out for dinner,
Yeah.
we were talking about, and then I'm sitting there like, that's a good boat. It's good for everything, right? And I want to do a bit of everything.
Lund used to make a Predator.
Predators are sweet. Yeah.
They would be like the perfect musky boat, but they're hard to find.
Are they?
Hard to come by, yeah.
So typically a deep hull.
Yeah, a deeper hull because Lac Seul, you're going through some pretty nasty water. But yeah, I run either a 21-foot Kingfisher or a 18-foot Lund Explorer. But all depends on the guests. A lot of the times my guests bring up their own boats, and I just guide out of their boat for the day. So it's nice that way, but definitely would be ideal to get my own rig. And
So we're going to go back to that conversation because it's going to open up a bigger one. But before we get into the boat thing, and I have a question for you, Greg, on it. John, you have the buffet of musky baits out in front of you.
Or a few, yeah.
So here's what I want everyone to say.
6 baits. and
If
it
you're
takes up the
listening
whole
to this
table.
at home right now on Spotify, which more people are listening on Spotify than YouTube because they're driving and stuff, I want you to go home. I want you to turn on the YouTube link, and I want you guys to see this video of these baits.
yeah, they're huge.
This is something else.
Yeah,
right?
this is insane.
So
Wow.
walk just wherever you want to start, John. Tell us what's going on here, what they're worth, and if you fish them or if you don't.
Most of these I don't fish. This is a blue water bait from.
Just hold it over here. You can see the camera there, and you can see what it looks like.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so I think that's a 12-inch. Lydio is his name. He makes these. I fished this a few times. I actually won this in a raffle, which is pretty rare because I usually waste all my money, but I actually won one for once,
Nice.
which is sweet. He makes awesome baits too, like affordable custom trolling baits, which is good.
What's his name?
His name's Lydio.
So that's one of the cool things about the musky industry is that so much stuff is handmade, right?
Yeah, like all these are handmade.
Like at the show, we have like Frank from Thirsty Lures coming, Mike from Handlebars coming, Big Ugly Bakes, Lebowski's probably coming. We've had hose bait before, and
I got baits from all those guys
Yeah.
too.
and it's just so much craftsman, like so much time goes in them. Oh, we have Mark from MKT's coming.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
Another local guy, and like you see, he's always posting stuff, right? Follow him on Facebook. And, same with Frank from Thirsty and Mike from Handlebars. Like, there's so much time into these things.
Yeah.
And that's why the price is what they are.
Yeah. So these are all through wire baits. So like literally from the top eye here, it runs right through the bait. So they start off with a wooden. I think they use Western red cedar. I'm pretty sure is what most of them use. So they'll get their what would you call it?
Chunks of wood or blocks.
Yeah. And then so they cut it in half, right? And then they hollow at the center. Then they run their wire through, and then they put it back together with plugs. They fill it with epoxy, and then like coat after coat after coat, paint jobs, right? Like it's just insane how they do it. My one buddy, he started trying to make his own baits, and it's just nuts how much work actually does go into them,
Like, look at the paint jobs on these things.
Like this one here,
Like, it is truly artwork.
Like this one here, I think it cost me around $1,500.
Wow.
And this is number 1 of 10. And this is 2021. This is the 13-inch.
Who makes that one?
So this is Trophic 5. His name's Ben. And like his paint jobs are absolutely
that paint job is unbelievable.
It's nuts. Like if you guys check,
I don't even know if I want to touch this thing. I'm telling you, people, if you're listening to this, go on YouTube and watch it after. It's pretty cool.
Like the paint jobs are crazy. Like it is art.
Like that looks like a perch in my hand.
No, you feel like you're holding a fish. Like it's crazy.
And so this one here, this is a 14-inch BR bait. So Bryn Roach is his name, and he was at the Odyssey for sure. I don't know if he was at Peterborough.
No, it wasn't at Peterborough. Yeah,
but he makes affordable baits too. Like I think this one I was $250. You know, and they catch fish, right? Like they're nice.
So we got these baits, right? So I'll hold you guys up.
Maybe it was even 200. I can't really remember, but
let's talk about like tackle management now, like storage. Like how are you guys keeping these in the boats? About like what kind of bags we're using?
The big ones like that, I just hang them off the side of the boat. Like in the boat, you know, like you're.
That's why everyone Musky guys' carpets are usually ripped up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How can you guys huck these baits?
You must
all day long.
Well, you're not really casting those
baits.
They call musky the fish of 1,000 casts.
10,000 casts.
That's a pound.
10,000.
only 2 casts for me.
That's a pound all day long.
So that's the other thing. Like musky fishing is exhausting. So I go out. Me and my brother usually every fall. We didn't get it last fall. Me and brother Bryce. We'd always spend 1 or 2 days targeting musky. Never. Lots of follows and stuff. I never caught one targeting. But bass fishing, you catch them by fluke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed about whether you're running like big blades or whatever, like you're just exhausted from the chucking and the reeling, right? Even when you're running like a good reel, like a Daiwa Pro X or whatever. Like I know the Shimano guys like their Tranxes, whatever, but like your Lexus, like you're still tired. Like it is.
Oh yeah.
Weight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Spina bifida. At the end of the day, backsitis.
Yeah.
What's the difference here? I see that some have like an aluminum lip and some have the acrylic lip. I'm guessing.
I think it's just preference, right? What the builder likes to use. I use both.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to you.
No, it gives them a different swim, right? But yeah, like you got your that's shallow, and obviously that's a deep, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah,
that's crazy. I can't get over like there's how many dollars in bait sitting on the table right now?
That's
too many.
Yeah, that's got to be close to 10 grand.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the big one yet. So.
That's a DK 18-inch. So this is the last year he made these. So he only made 5 of them.
That was DK. This guy was sought after at the Musky Odyssey, right?
DK's, yeah. When it comes to custom baits, he's the man.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, like they're so hard to get. Like you can't get them.
I have a whole new respect now for musky bait builders. I've always respected it, and I've talked about it before on the show. But I think every time I'm in a situation like where they're there, like I'm either working a booth, I'm busy running a show, I haven't got to sit down there and look at the craftsmanship. Like I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to when they got a lineup that's 200 people deep.
Everybody, they always have a lineup.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Even at Peterborough last year, like I know Thirsty did really well and all those guys. And like, it's definitely, it's cool.
Well,
and
it was
like,
wild.
We're going to have musky guys at CanCast. Trust me. There's lots of musky and there's lots of musky consumers coming too.
Well, last year was the first time that we got to experience the Musky Odyssey.
Yes. Well, actually, I've been before. It was in Bowmanville. A few years back before COVID. So I actually did go to that one. So it's my second. I'm a little bit of a veteran.
Where's it this year? It's somewhere different.
Oshawa Trillium Center.
Yeah.
Right. So it was the first time that we got to see the Odyssey. And the lineups, first thing in the morning at these bait builders, like guys.
These guys are running in.
Yeah, they ran.
It's like a Black Friday sale.
I think so too, though. You're almost
They're there the night before, man. They're lining up the night before.
I looked at Mark and I'm like, should we arm ourselves? Is something going down right now? Like, what is this?
And tell me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it too, like, this guy's built 50 baits. This guy's built 50 baits. This guy's built 100 baits. So, like, you're almost picking, like, okay, I want him first. I got to go there first. I hope I can get one of his before he's sold out.
Yeah, good luck.
That's why people are running.
That's why it's such a rush in the morning.
Yeah, good
because they can only make so many, right?
Yeah. So it's not a mass-produced product.
So have you ever brought more than one person with you and say, okay, you stand in that line, I'm going to stand in this line, and then...
No, we try to show up early, but like this year, or like the last couple of years, I've been in most of the shows, right? So I don't even get in the lines.
Well, there was dudes there the night before.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, they slept over.
There was a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Which we have people talking about sleeping that night before at CanCast. So it's in my meeting tomorrow at Memorial Center. We're actually talking about how we can orchestrate that, because like there's stuff coming and we can't announce it yet. I'm waiting for the go ahead. I'm not going to say the brand. There's going to be a certain bait that is only available at CanCast through one particular dealer. I guarantee you guys will be sleeping outside for it. 100%.
I'm not sleeping outside. I'm going to be.
Yeah. See if I can social the night before.
Oh yeah,
I'm working.
Well, if you were smart, you guys are the social committee.
Right.
Yeah.
I sent out the hotel code.
So
last night to the
we're out of
vendors.
luck there already, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh no.
Pull a string, Kyle.
I am pulling a string. I got it sorted out. If there's any left, you guys get number 51 and 52. They're only making 50. No, I'm kidding. I don't know the exact number, but it's only going to be available at the show.
Very limited quantity.
Very limited quantity. There's a few things like this coming. Trust me. Between the manufacturers, the dealers, the bait makers. So you follow us on Instagram, there's already guys posting this bait going to be available at CanCast. Like they're making these jigs, they're doing stuff. And then some of the bigger companies are doing stuff particularly for this show. So I know like we're a young show, whether you take the Bowmanville years or not, definitely our roots are there. We've kind of evolved Peterborough. We're going to a whole different feel this year, right? This show is going to have stuff that you can't get anywhere else. It's worth the price of admission just there.
And no slippers.
There's no slippers. There's no fillers, period. I won't do it.
Perfect.
So,
that's what we like about you.
but that's what's big about these musky guys is it's so hard to get the stuff, right? And the way I understand too, like the Facebook groups are huge.
Yeah.
Like doing the online auctions and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's basically for like the hardcore musky guys. Like they're not going to let anyone into these groups.
So like it's like goalies. You guys are weird. You're like the drummers. I'm a drummer.
just gonna say that.
I'm a drummer. Hey,
Let's talk about the last one there, number one.
So this Cullen Vaders, he makes this. He's actually the guy that caught the 59.5 this fall on the St. Lawrence.
Oh yeah, did he rub it on his forehead for you?
I got this off him before he caught that fish, but this is the first one. He just made this this last year. He started making these last year. It's called the Pug. It was the first one I ever made, so I had to have it. But he actually,
did you fish it?
I haven't fished it. No, I'm probably not gonna. But so this is he made 10 of these last year. He told me he was gonna make them. These are his alpha collector's edition.
Bring it a little bit towards Greg, so the camera.
Towards Greg.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So this is his alpha collector's edition. I'm pretty sure it's a 13-inch, or no, it's a 14-inch. And the funny thing is that when I got this off him last year, and he always killed it with this color on the St. Lawrence. So this color is the OB Night Stalker is what he calls it. And just so happens, this year when he caught that 59.5, it was on this color.
Ooh.
But it wasn't the 14-inch. I think he was using a 9-inch. But to me, that just makes this worth a little bit more.
Yeah.
So all that money, you got to put your own hooks on it?
He said hooks come with. Hooks want to come with. But, you get hook rash and stuff. You can't have those on. But.
So where do you how do you display these at home?
I got them hanging on the wall.
That's cool.
In the living room?
No, downstairs.
That's
if they're up to me, they'd be in the living room.
Oh man, I'd have the whole. I kind of want. I don't know why. I have a ton of tackle. It's fortunately displayed horribly because I moved. It's all in bins. I haven't set it all up. I have some weird thing now. I want to go and buy musky baits.
Right?
Look how freaking cool. I'm like, man, imagine you 10 of those, all mounted nice, above your bar. How sweet it would be. Okay, that's it. I'm coming to Laxville this year. We're catching big musky. I'm going to review one day around here. I'm done. I'm a musky guy now.
Yeah.
You just need to catch one big one.
Screw this bass.
So you became a man today, is that what you're saying?
Screw this bass stuff. I love hammering lake trout. Now I'm going to be a musky guy, so watch out.
Wow, what a collection.
These are DKs, so Dave Cormanios. I got probably 35 DKs.
35 of those.
Well, this is a 13-inch jointed. I probably got three or four of these, but I got 8 other 13-inch. They're hard to get to. Each one's probably $1,000 or more.
That's got a really nice eye as well.
Yeah.
Let me see that one. I feel
Hold that up for the camera.
Shouldn't we not be wearing like gloves? There's fingerprints on this now, John.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
Is there a bait out there that you want to have that you don't have yet? Like, is there something that you sought after that you would?
I was trying to get a Wishmaster for years, man, and then
you got it,
and then I got it. Yeah.
So is there another one that's taken the place of the Wishmaster that you want?
No.
Well, you can only
I'm trying to get all these 18 inchers. Like, I'm pretty sure there's only 7 in Canada. I got 4 of them.
I'm sure if you take out a second mortgage,
Wow.
Yeah. So, Greg, you ever have any clients show up with like any of these high-end baits and want to throw them? Or like, do guys just up there know they're going to get in the fish and they're going to get beat? Like, what's the...
Yeah, a lot of it's like I'm not much of a troller. I usually try and make guys cast.
Yeah.
And if we do troll, there's like your Matlocks and your Jakes and your Grandmas are pretty much your go-tos for a trolling bait. They're cheaper. You can beat them up.
Yeah.
Stuff like this, I would personally tell them just leave it in the box. It's too nice to bang off rocks.
And you're going to catch fish probably.
Yeah, you'll
So,
still,
like,
yeah,
teeth
those will work, but you can still catch fish on
Yeah, like this is just the higher end stuff, like the collector's part to me anyway.
Yeah,
like I got
100%.
other custom baits that that I use on there regular too. But yeah, like Jake's and Grandma's, like they're go tos for everyone for a long time, right?
And a Jake's and Grandma you can buy basically at any tackle store, right?
Yeah,
they're good baits for sure.
yeah, they're.
So do you guys typically cast through the daytime and then troll in the evenings and night times?
That's what I do anyway. If I want to stay out longer, when your vision gets a little worse when the sun goes down, right? But fall trolling is a big thing for a lot of musky guys. Like a lot of bass guys, they chirp, "Oh, you guys just troll. You guys just troll."
You're trolling.
But trolling is literally half of musky fishing. It is like you got guys that musky fish for their whole life, and all they do is troll. You know what I mean? Like
it's the easiest way to catch it. Like we used to troll the Autonomy River all the time in the fall, and we'd catch them. So I guess I should back up. I did target them a fair bit when I was younger out of my tin boat, and we would just troll for
There's
them.
that word again, tin boat.
Championship.
A lot of the big musky that have been caught, like
Are on the troll.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about handling these fish. We went on into a little bit earlier. We're going to talk about the world record and stuff. But I think especially when these guys are catching them in the heat of summer and stuff, like fish care is huge with musky. How you hold it, how you revive it. Like, tell us a little bit about like how you guys take care of these fish for those that don't know about it.
Net or cradle?
There we go.
Well, net for sure.
Yeah.
Just you can get it in the basket faster, and the size of musky nets are pretty much just a huge cradle. Unless you're wanting to measure a fish in the water, like let's say you're pushing your temperatures, you're fishing in 80 degree Fahrenheit waters. Yeah, maybe if you want to measure a fish, it'd probably be best to be done in a cradle. But at that point, you should just kind of be targeting your fish in a little cooler water. You can always find that 78, 79, 80's fine to fish in. I would never fish like 82, 83. Like the Kawarthas get pretty steamy.
Yeah.
But yeah, net the fish, keep the fish in the net until you got all your release tools ready to go, and unhook the fish in the net. Once the hooks are out, just let the fish chill a little bit. Make sure it's sitting right side up. It can breathe properly. And then, get your bump board out. If you're gonna bump it, wet the bump board. Like give it a drink or whatever, and bump it and have the camera ready. You should only really have a fish out of the water for at most 60 to 90 seconds, I would say.
Yeah, at most, yeah.
At most 90 seconds. But there are times, obviously, where a fish is hooked a little deep, and I've had one succumb to bleeding just from deep hooks. It happened.
Now, where'd you hook it? In the tongue? Or
Right-
right into the gill.
Right where the gills come together, it just clobbered the bait.
So
But,
Mocked it.
yeah.
So you guys cutting the hooks off and leaving the hook in there?
Yep. Yeah, they'll rust out and whatever. But if a muskie's bleeding, honestly, just get it back. You'll catch another one another day. Like if it's maybe if it's like a real big one and you want to record it, sure, maybe measure it in the water. But if you got like a, I don't know, mid to low 40s or a high 30s fish, just let it go. You'll get another one of those.
Yeah, as long as you got the proper tools, you can properly catch and release a fish, right?
Yeah.
So these hooks are insane. We asked Mike and Mike the last guide episode.
Yeah.
Have you guys pulled one of these out of your hands yet?
No. Knock on wood.
That's not a wood.
Okay, so Travis from Pro Tackle.
Yeah, Travis, Peterborough Pro Tackle.
So this is probably 10 years ago. We were musky fishing.
Yeah.
I think he bought an old bass boat off Warren.
Okay.
Way back.
Yep.
So we're out fishing the Tonabee, man, and we're always sitting down casting. He's behind me casting.
Are you guys fishing for muskie?
We're fishing for muskie. We're both throwing bucktails.
Travis used to be huge in the muskie, right? He still is.
He likes. Yeah,
he likes muskie fishing.
He's more into the bass.
Now,
but yeah, and so I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and all of a sudden, I feel like I got punched in the head, man. Oh. And then I'm just angry. I'm like, gee, what just happened there? And then I started to feel blood coming down my face.
Oh no!
You literally went to cast and caught my head and went whoa with the bucktail. So I had a hook through my hat in my head, one through my ear, like it just hanging off me. So
nice.
So how'd you get him out?
Nice.
So
you have a picture of that?
I do have a picture.
Yeah, send it in.
Oh yeah.
So we actually flew to the boat launch. I had a buddy that lived close by come with pliers, and we just clipped them off and pulled them out. The one in the hat was actually, it was good. We actually were able to pluck it out.
Yeah.
It was right through my ear, so I had to cut it and pull it out.
Nice.
But yeah, that was the only time I've been hooked by one. But it was lucky it didn't get me in the neck or something. Like.
Oh yeah.
Treble hooks get you like on a normal jerk bait, like the size, let alone these things, but still. That's crazy.
So how many ounce are these bucktails that you're throwing?
I'm not sure. It depends what size, right?
Like how many ounce? Like how heavy are they?
So you guys don't talk. We might need to edit this out because it might sound like a real idiot. You guys more talking like sizes, like 8s and that more than ounces, correct? In your industry?
Yeah. You could you'll have like let's say double 9 bucktails. You'll have like anywhere from a 2 to 4, maybe 6. I know guys that troll on the St. Lawrence, they're running like 1.5 ounces for their spinner baits, like speed trolling. It all depends on how fast you want to reel. You want to use a heavier bucktail for a faster reel. If you want to kind of just pull a bait under the surface but not burn your hand off, you're going to just want to throw a lighter weighted bucktail just so you can you're always going to want to walk a bucktail over cabbage beds.
Yeah. So your bucktails, I guess there's 2 different kind of bucktails, right?
Yep.
There's the bucktails that we, rip for like a hair jig kind of deal, and then there's like a spinning bucktail. Yeah. That's what you guys are
an
throwing.
inline bucktail.
Yeah,
blades.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they come in, you can get 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 13s.
Yeah, it's endless. They can. Yeah.
Cowbells. Is that some of the lingo? Cowbells.
Cowgirls.
Cowgirls. Isn't it funny how different the lingo is? And like you think you know all about fishing, like our lingo over here in the normal people section is way different.
I'm down with the cowgirls.
I think that's Musky Innovations. That's got the cowgirls, showgirls, baby girls.
We have
supermodels.
Yeah.
See?
I was
Musky guys and hot chicks.
I just thought of it, so I want to give him a plug. Mike Nabalsi from Waterwolf is coming back this year of a big 10x20 booth, CanCast.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he makes some awesome stuff.
Yeah, I love his swim baits.
Yeah, he makes some wicked stuff, and on the bass magnet stuff too, right?
Yeah, he stopped making the bass stuff altogether and he's gone musky, correct?
I believe I heard that. I meant to ask Mike when me and him were talking.
I don't even think he can keep up with the musky stuff.
Yeah, I think the musky stuff is like what he's going with moving forward, but like his swim baits are like his stuff is sought out after, which is too bad because he made one of the best bass tubes on the planet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he won a lot of money on a bass magnet. It's bass magnet, right?
Yeah.
One who won on the Belsies. You want to know who won a ton of money on those back in the day? Hubble and Bairstow.
Big time.
And they still swear by them, right?
I may have a couple packs of them.
I stole some from their
have
boat.
some too.
Yeah. You know what? If you're listening, we'll love some of those tubes, wouldn't we?
Right. So the swim baits, you're talking about soft plastic swim baits. What are they? 7, 8, 9 inch?
I think it's Shadzillas. Yeah, you can get them in 7 and
9s, I believe. And then I think he just came out with a Magnum Shadzilla.
Yeah.
If they're a little bigger, they might be 12 inch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Shadzillas, they're dynamite.
They're nuts.
Got a good wiggle.
Really?
You got a good wiggle. That's the new line. That should be his new slogan.
So do you guys customize your swim baits at all, or customize any of your own stuff? Like I know some bass guys, they'll like draw lines on them, or they'll maybe take a V notch out of just like, pass me that bait there, the one with the tail. So say this was a swim bait, And right before the tail, they'll cut like a V notch out of here to give the tail more waggle. Do you customize your own baits like that at all?
Can I see that one?
I personally haven't. Like, there's so many different baits out there, and I feel like, so many other different bait makers that everyone's thought of everything almost, right?
Yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying. Like there are some guys that put, like if you got a Shadzilla, they'll put a spinning rig on the top of it, so it'll have a spoon on the top of it, and it gives just that much more action. But yeah,
if there was a bait that I would always customize for my liking, would probably be a suic.
Yeah,
because it's a pull bait, and it's a pull pause bait, and you want that bait to rise almost you almost want it to be sub buoyant. Like you don't want it to rise, and you don't want it to sink. And muskies just love that little pause. If you can wait a suic to be perfect, and for it to pull straight.
And so typically they're horizontal. So typically they're floating, but you make kind of suspend.
The way you work the bait, you're pull pausing it, and it's got a little blade on the back that makes it like headhunt down. But when you pause it, it's just gonna float nice and flat, and you want it to rise up nice and flat. And
It's going to go horizontal.
there'll be times you'll be 20 feet out from the boat, and we call it the death pause. And you'll pause at 20 feet out, and you'll see sometimes just a big white belly just coming out from the abyss underneath it, just like looking up at it, and then just all of a sudden just.
And they hit it when you move it again, or they hit that pause?
Sometimes on the pause, or sometimes they'll just go and kiss it, and you kind of, you don't want them to kiss it. It's like cat and mouse. You want to keep it away from them, but it's I don't know. You want them to go at it, but then you want to keep it away from them, because you can never keep a bait away from a muskie.
I'm freaking out right now.
If they want to eat it,
I feel like I gotta go musky fishing.
Dude, I got
tomorrow.
this feeling inside me. It's crazy.
I haven't been this excited to fish in a while, and I'm sitting here like, because I'm like really like into the techie part of it, right? Like y'all know I ain't the freaking world's best tournament angler here, but I know my gear. Like I love gadgets, I love gear. Like I'm freaking losing my mind that like I could have all these in my basement right now, right? And like now I'm like, I'm going musky fishing.
I'm going musky fishing.
We should set up a date. Let's go musky fishing.
Do you think if we brought a 14-foot tin boat to Laxville, we can catch musky?
Those two words again.
Oh,
Boat.
we can try. We'll just have to pick our days.
No, the CanCast Musky Seminar. Great guitar presented by Musky Maniacs, John Mulligan.
There we go.
Oh,
Hey?
Let's do it.
this is wicked.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Wow. That's thank you for bringing those in, John. That was cool.
yeah.
Because dude, I walk in the tackle stores every day and I walk right past this section. Never again. Even like all the mass-produced stuff. So we want to know who else has. Okay, let's talk about tackle stores that have great musky selection. So local around here, I know Peterborough Pro Tackle does. East Hill's got a lot of musky stuff hanging on the wall. I know Tackle Depot probably does up there. Ganyon's has a ton of musky stuff.
Yeah.
I believe they do. Tell me if I'm wrong. But you know who has a fantastic selection? Go to North Bay Outfitters in North Bay. See Thomas. Tell him we sent you.
Nipissing boys.
So Nipissing, Musky Factory, Sudbury guys, all that up there. Thomas
up there.
at North Bay, great store, fantastic pike and musky selection.
Nice.
Fantastic. So check them out. North Bay Outfitters. They got a good website too.
What would you call a successful day out there musky fishing?
Well,
One fish.
yeah, one fish for sure. But I don't know. It kind of depends on the time of year. But yeah, one fish definitely is the goal.
Do you ever just think, oh, this is foolish, I'm going bass fishing?
Never. Never.
Be a man.
Yeah.
You know, I figured musky guys would be a little more honest.
Just just reeling those baits in is like catching a fish every cast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good argument.
Come
Okay.
fishing with me, you don't catch one every guy.
Yeah, and every time you catch a musky, you let it go, and you just can't wait for the next time. You know?
Yeah, it's like shooting a deer and stuff, like getting a good turkey. It's like it's the chase. It's the chase, right?
Yeah.
It's the chase.
They call it musky hunting for a reason.
Not catching.
Do you film all your guiding trips and stuff?
No, but I would honestly like to start. There's a guide. Well, Doug Wagner. He does a lot of his guiding. It's all filmed. I think that's pretty cool. That his clients can go out and be like, oh, let's check out Doug's YouTube and see what he's producing.
So there's this really cool company, and they make this like
you should check it out.
They make the stick, and it goes in your nav light port and powers your GoPro all day. And
That's the YOLO
Tech. Right. So that's what you guys need. YOLOTech.ca.
This summer.
I've often thought that's it's a great option to offer your clients if you're a guy.
100%. So like we talked about that with Williams and Mike last show, and Williams called me. He's like, "Hey man, I need a YOLOTech," because it makes a lot of sense. Like, run it all day. If he wants that memory, you pull it out.
100.
Then you sell it to them.
Well, with how big. So you'll never lose power. Like you said, you had to run USBs all through your boat. The GoPro batteries die.
Yeah, 2 hours.
So now you can run it off your boat battery, whatever, and you get like a 265, whatever, the 64 gigabyte huge cards now. You'll never run out of room. Right? And then when you know you got something good, you pull it off, switch the card.
Question for you: is YOLOTech sticks? Do they only hold one camera, or is there like a?
There's some new ones coming out that are going to be different mounts. I can't say much about them yet, but there's nav light out. They'll hold your camera and your nav light, so you just put it in for the day, you're done. Perfect. So especially if you're like trolling and stuff at night and that, whatever. So yeah, like there's other stuff too. You gotta remember too, like the juice boxes, the power packs. There's power banks as well. Like these will charge everything. Your cell phones, you name it. Like it's wicked. That comes with a chest mount, like anything you need. So a lot of guys can wear that on their chest. Their battery will never die. Just wear it all day. Right. So, it's a great company, man. Like they're doing some really cool things, and they're really stepping up to start support the sport. So new to Canada, we're a young company, but they're doing really well.
New to Canada, but through the Elite Series, every single boat in the Elite Series going out blast off in the morning
has to run a YOLOTech.
Right.
Yep. And you know what? I think, well, obviously I run one on even kayak or whatever boat I'm in this year. Hey, here's my YOLOTech. Put it in your port. Like that's how I'm doing it. I go with you guys, but. If we talked about this maybe a few episodes ago, but cheating, the walleye guys.
Yeah.
If I'm in a tournament for high stakes, I would be running the camera all day long so no one could ever check my credit. They can never call me out, and if they want to, hey, watch my video.
There it is, yeah.
Go pull my card. I can't edit it. I'm not near a computer yet. Pull it out of that right off my boat.
That's what Cooper
and
does.
watch it all day for 8 hours, and you tell me if I did anything wrong.
That's what Cooper does.
That way you can never be
all day.
And like the only argument is, you maybe changed your card. No, you didn't. That thing's turned on at this time in the morning. It's date stamped and time stamped. You can sit there for the 8 hours and you can watch it, and you tell me if you see a glitch.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I would do it.
Yep.
If I was I was in the money for the elites. And
that's the way.
What about kayak guys? You got something for kayak guys?
There's kayak mounts, but most of the kayak guys now have crazy lithium batteries.
Yeah.
So they literally put the port right in and they put the YOLOTechs right on. There's 20-inch ones too. So the 20-inch one's nice at the front of the boat, a little bit shorter, right? And cast over it and everything, but you still get the action when you catch the fish in that.
Right.
Fish in that. So yeah, good sponsor plug. Yeah, they'll be at the full booth at the show. Full setup, on boat, everything.
I'm going to be running one all year this year.
I think I'm going to pick one up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get one too.
Yeah.
Yep. And what about you, John? You got big filming.
Might get a few.
Okay, so John, Musky Maniacs. We talked about it. Awesome stuff. What's like the plan? I know, like it's we were talking about it's a side hustle. It's a passion. Like that's what fishing is lost. What's the plans for the brand for the future? Like there's no sign of stopping, right?
No. I'd like to like go further. I'd like to maybe go get in the mall in Sudbury, maybe even Ottawa, right? Like try out there, Yep. But yeah, just keep working at it, man. Just put the work in and try to make it bigger than what it is,
What about going to the States?
Yeah. So the thing with the States, like I looked into trademarking it in the States.
Yeah, it's a different game.
It's like $40,000.
Yeah.
To do that. So it's a bit of a mission because I wouldn't want to, we'd still like our online store, like we're sending to the States, right? Like people are buying it everywhere, but to actually like to get it out and go, even like we even looked into getting like a worldwide trademark, and that's like stupid expensive.
Well, if you sell a couple baits, you're probably there.
But it's just how far you know, I always, you know, you can take anything as far as you want to take it, but you just got to put the work in, right? Like you just
Absolutely.
So did you say giveaway in that bag?
I got to give away.
What do you got? Let's go on. Open up the goodie bag here. Now, is it one of these baits you're giving us? That'd be cool if that.
I'll take this one.
Yeah, the jointed.
Finders keepers.
Finders
So I got a hat for everyone.
Let's go. Who's picking
I even
first?
got Woody a hat too.
Oh, Woody.
That's killer.
Oh, I'm picking first, guys. I don't know which one.
There's one of them's for the giveaway, and then I got a coat here for a giveaway.
Wow.
They're sweet.
Okay, so we're gonna run a contest to give away this coat.
You did.
This Musky Maniacs coat. So you guys, while you're watching this episode, after this episode is live, check out our social feeds and Musky Maniacs, and all the details will be there on how to win. But remember, you need to watch this episode because there will be the answer you need to the question will be in this episode.
Right.
So make sure you pay attention to our social pages. This is good quality stuff, man.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful
nice.
jacket.
Nice.
Love the
These
color.
hats-
too.
So we got
This is
to
legit. This is my size. This is good.
yeah. So the giveaway will include that jacket and a hat. So
There you go. So Musky Maniacs hat. I'm putting this one. in.
These hats, if you've never put a Yupong hat, and the way to tell if it's a Yupong, inside it'll say the classics, and underneath it says Yupong.
Dude, I like this one. It's even sized to
These
me.
Yupong hats, you put one of these on, and there's a reason why I never took mine off. This is the best form.
Dude, this is so much more comfortable than a Richardson 112.
Big time.
Way
These
more
are
comfortable.
The best.
yeah,
It doesn't, you know, the Richardsons they hard on your ears.
Yeah,
This is
it kind of
wicked.
rubs the top of your ear. Yeah.
Well, there's two hats I wear. This is my number one, and then I wear a Richardson.
yeah.
Those are the only two.
Like
brands.
if I can't get those when I'm ordering, the Richardson would be the next.
Yeah. This hat right here, in my opinion, is the best hat that you can put a logo on and sell. Number one.
Sweet.
It's going on the head right now.
Maybe the CanCast hats have to be those then.
100%.
Yeah, that's on my
Absolutely.
list while I'm in Vegas. Like emails I got to deal with is the
Absolutely.
merch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Merch.
Could we get like a
No.
like a beanie with a propeller on it for Sean?
Right?
No. Okay, this is cool. So, Mark, you got any cool questions for these guys? You always, you're always dreaming stuff up.
Just whip this up here.
So, is this enough questions to do our Daiwa Q&A? Mark?
Well, I posted it, so you've seen it.
Yeah, but like this was your department. Sean, every time we give him a job, he's too busy on vacation.
know.
He takes 10 days off, goes to the Caribbean.
Did you see the
Oh,
picture of him on vacation where he was
Holy-
holding the sloth?
Yeah, I missed you, man.
You're like a
that's the
sloth.
closest I could get to giving
Yeah.
you a hug.
Holy,
You
no more time off.
If there was a contest where you look like your pet and you send that one into him holding the sloth, hands down, he would win. They've got the exact same smile. Check out Mark's social media. It's there. And tell me if you don't think they look alike. If you look up the meaning of sloth in the dictionary, there's a sub-meaning to it where it says man who installs windows in one-day baths. And that is you. I'm telling you.
At an alarming rate.
Yeah.
I'm like a super sloth.
Yeah.
Super
If there's such a thing.
sloth. Okay,
Yeah.
go.
What's your favorite season to chase?
Oh, fall for sure. Absolutely.
We're talking fish, not women, boys.
Yeah.
Mine, I prefer summer actually. I find the fish are fast. You catch more. Fall fishing, they're bigger, but they're tougher to catch.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Morning, midday, or night?
Oh, definitely like a evening,
Yep.
right at sunset,
100%.
hour before, hour after.
Yeah.
Ever launch the boat without the plug?
Few times. Few times.
Oh,
Honestly,
mind
I'm
me
not
about
sure.
the plug. We have an issue already. If the
Did you guys
plug-
eat out there? So what's the favorite snack?
the tin boat?
Oh, probably a pep and chad.
A what?
Oh, what?
Pep and Chad.
Pep and chad.
Say that again.
What?
Say that again. With that mustache. Pep and Chad.
Pep and chad. Like a,
Rewind. One more
it's like a
time.
beef. It's like a. It comes in a. I don't know. You got it at convenience stores. It's
Yeah, pepperoni cheese sticks
pepperoni
side by
cheese sticks
side.
side by side. Pep and chad.
A Pep and Chad. Right there.
Oh, my
Awesome.
I eat 4 of those a day.
Do you have any
Really?
like, superstitions or rituals before you get in the boat or while you're doing it? Or
No bananas in the boat.
Oh, I don't even
Yeah,
eat a banana period in life now. I'm like, oh, they're bad luck. You guys stay away from them.
Yeah, they're pretty bad luck.
Yeah.
if you could fish, musky fish with anybody, who would it be? Other than me.
Well, my girlfriend, Erin Wilson. Honestly, probably, I would probably say Jim Sarek or Pete Mena. I think those guys.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Jim Sarek, and Pete Mena he's just hilarious.
I'd like to fish with Aaron Weed from Uncut Angling.
Dude, isn't his YouTube channel amazing?
Fun, man.
Yeah,
his content's incredible.
Man.
He's a
funny guy.
Aaron's a beauty. Yeah.
Okay, what motivates you guys to huck these huge baits all day, like even just to hope to see one? Like, what's the motivation there?
Stupidity. No, I don't know. It's just that tug.
The tug is the drug.
Yeah, it's rewarding, man.
Yeah. And what's your bucket other than muskie? Like, what is your bucket fish?
Oh, tough question. Probably
pickerel.
Yeah. I don't know. A sturgeon would be cool. They're big.
I think that'd be cool.
Or 33-inch walleye.
So
nice.
Another big fish.
Yeah.
42-pound salmon.
Like, we touched on some of these like during the show and stuff, but
I got a 32-inch walleye with Lloyd Dome a couple years
I know.
ago.
It sucks that charter got canceled, eh? We would have done it again.
Yeah, you know what? Like, and then other ones we've just touched on throughout the show, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I got one. If you can go fish any lake for muskie in the world, where are you going?
That's a great question.
Lac Seul.
Yeah? You're that confident?
Yeah, love that place.
Where's that compared to like Lake of the Woods?
A
couple hours, right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours east of Lake of the Woods, probably.
Where's it compare on the scale of like Lake of the Woods is more well known, I would assume, probably because of population base around
Lake
it.
of the Woods is massive.
Yeah, easy access for that.
What about like some of the lakes like in the top of Minnesota and where like some of those Lake of the Woods backs onto?
Mille Lacs is pretty sick.
Yeah.
It produces some giants. You always hear the Vermilion, Lake Vermilion in Minnesota. Green Bay.
Yeah.
That would probably be, I would say Green Bay. It would be the place for me if I could ever go fish somewhere else.
What about you, John?
I haven't been to Lake of the Woods yet, so I'd love to go there. I've had the opportunity every year. It's just tough getting the time off work, right?
I think we should go to Lake of the Woods next fall.
Yeah, I do. Eagle Lake, too. I'd like to go to Eagle Lake.
No, we gotta.
You probably fished Eagle Lake, have you?
Yeah, I fished Eagle Lake once in the road trip with Cooper.
Right.
Yeah, we
I'd like
did one day
there.
there.
Is that road trip? That was.
I think it was 2019.
Yep.
Dude, that series is awesome.
Yeah.
Cooper, like keep it. That the filming that family does together. Is
It's pretty wild.
You gotta
when they went up to
one coming up.
Yeah, and when they went up to what was the first one they went up to with moose and stuff early in the year up that way.
We did Nipigon.
Nipigon.
Yeah.
Dude, Nipigon like got me like I would like to do that exact trip.
Oh, if there was a trip for someone to go and experience Northern Ontario, it would be go to Nipigon for the end of the season lake trout, and then do your walleyes in those surrounding lakes, and then come to Lac Seul and fish with me.
So what time of year do I need to book this?
End of September.
I'm being serious.
So
you guys want to do it?
I want to point something out real quick here.
Should we do it?
Right. Greg is in that circle, that small circle of these kids that grew up in Bowmanville that are hardcore.
Yeah.
Right. So him and Cooper and Danny.
Yeah.
And there's a couple others.
Yeah.
Like these kids grew up and this is what they did.
Yeah.
And now you've seen what they're all doing in the fishing industry. These kids are
I got
hammered.
memories of Cooper and Danny fishing down at the creek with garbage bags on for rain gear, and it's -5 outside, and we don't give.
Send us that picture too for you.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's probably when we met too, like through the Bowmanville Anglers Club.
Yeah.
Right around the same time I met Danny and Cooper and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I like to plan a trip up there.
Yeah, it's cool.
I am. Let's do it. Let's do it.
There's actually really good.
Mark
bass
will have a
fishing.
boat. Yours will be sold. 'Cause you haven't
I'm having a
It'll
baby.
still have the cover on it.
I'm not.
Oh, buddy. You won't even put the batteries in it this year.
Okay, so I want to go
lithium.
catch a muskie. All right, what am I looking for when I launch the boat? What am I looking for? What kind of water?
Honestly, I would go off. Well, I would find the main basin of the lake if you're fishing summer fish. Let's say summer fish. So I would say find your basin, your main basin, and then find the bays off of that main basin that are really close to deep water, that have good weed structure and is getting pounded by wind always.
Yeah.
I would say that'd be a good starting point. Find the edge of that and work off of that.
A lot of times when we hit new water, like we'll set at the boat launch on our graphs. We'll literally, okay, we're hitting here, we're gonna hit here, we're gonna try here. You know.
So what's like the median depth, say, that you're
depending
you're
what you're throwing?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. For middle of the summer, like I never like running the boat shallower than, let's say, 9 feet. Usually most of your weeds are anywhere from 6 to 9 feet.
Yeah.
I would never want to go shallower. You can always, the active fish is always going to be on the edge of that weed bed.
Yeah.
So are you sitting in the deep and casting towards the shallow, or are you sitting in the shallow casting towards the deep?
Sitting in the deep, casting shallow. And but there'll be so many times where you'll fluke a spot, like first time fishing it, you'll roll right over the A part of the spot. It is okay to turn around and give that spot 2 minutes and go back and then fish it properly. There's been times where I've done it and you just turn around, fish it properly, and the fish will go right back and set back up.
So you get to an area, you catch one. Is it likely you're going to catch another one, or you just keep moving on?
Yeah.
I've learned more about musky fishing in the last hour than I have in the last 10 years.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're asking the geniuses, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys find that muskie are territorial?
Sometimes, yeah. I would say.
Oh yeah, when I go on a trip, hit a body of water, right? Like we call it the milk run, right? Like we literally will hit a bunch of spots. You know, we see a fish here, see a fish there. We don't catch it, but you know, we're there for a weekend. We're there for 3 days. We go back to that spot. That fish is there again. We see him again. On the third day, probably catch him. You know, it's happened a few times, right? So I think they hang around, right? But again, it goes with the temperatures of the water, everything with the year. You know, like you hit that spot in the summer, maybe that fish is there, but he's not going to be there come fall, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What's your starter bait? Like, what do you throw first every day? Is there a
top water and a bucktail.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good.
You agree with that, John?
Yeah, I'd be throwing a bucktail for sure.
So if you're going to be able to tell someone that's listening to the show, they're coming in the CanCast on April 2nd, and they're going to buy a musky setup. They just want one to get into it. What gear ratio are we going to grab for an all-around, and what rod action?
The whole thing. What line?
Like, where are you starting from? Like, just give us a starting point for the guy that's going to be at CanCast.
I'd say 8.6.
We sell a lot of 8.6
medium heavy.
Style.
I'd say 8.6 medium heavy with a either Alexa, Daiwa Alexa, or
ProRex.
ProRex.
Yeah.
Great for
I got Erin the ProRex this summer and she loves it.
They're freaking amazing.
They're nice, man.
They're so
like you can literally cast an extra 20 feet with those.
Yeah, and like good gears in them and everything.
Yeah, and I'd say the high gear ratio, like you can always slow it down, right? I always go with high gear.
Yeah,
because like you could, you know, it's nice to bring those baits in fast when you want them to come in fast, and you can always slow your hand down.
Right.
And that's touching back on when you want to keep the fish away from the bait. When that fish is, you'll watch that fish fire up, and you wanna pick up on your reel if it's coming in.
You want to start moving it.
You want to start moving it for
like
sure.
a lake trout, basically.
Yeah.
And you won't win that race.
You're not going to reel them off.
No. And then you'll get boat side, do it on the first turn, hang it, and it's all over.
And then everybody talks about the figure eight. Like, what's your success rate on that?
Obviously, a lot more successful up north, I'd think, right?
Yeah, I would say, boat side fish up north are they're a lot more out to eat. Lake of the Woods is like, it's a known lake for, if you are a good boat side angler, you're gonna crush them on Lake of the Woods. But down in the Kawarthas, I find they're boat shy.
Yeah, you'd be lucky to get one in the figure eight.
Yeah,
because
Is it after every cast, or is it only if you see one?
No, every cast.
Every cast.
Yeah, they'll blindside you.
Right.
Yeah.
So usually the figure eight. So that's like strictly for when you're throwing a bucktail.
Everything.
Yeah.
Even the top water.
Yeah, you just
you dunk it. You dunk the top water, bring it right underneath the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can keep it on top if you want.
No, I don't know if this is a thing, but I've heard that people like the trolling guys, like they'll have one right in the boat wash, like
the prop
10 feet,
wash.
6 feet or whatever behind
Washing baits.
Yep.
Yeah?
Really?
Like that.
Yeah.
Washing baits, huh?
And is that like an explosion when they hit that one?
Yeah, I'm not a troller. I've personally never actually done it, but it's pretty much you got 10 feet of line out behind the boat and your rod is buried. Like in the rod.
The tip is right in the water?
Yeah. Your tip's right in the water, so it just starts ripping.
Wow. Sweet.
I guess I should.
So how do you
try
get
that?
So you got a 50-inch musky.
For a guy that had no questions, he certainly has a lot of questions.
I'm a thinker.
Listen,
Yeah.
So you got a 50-inch. Typically, you could have a 50-inch musky. You got 10 feet of line out.
You just set your drag rate.
Yeah.
She'd be
So
going,
it's already ripping line.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too tight because then you will lose the fish, but it's gonna be ripping. You're gonna. Zzz. You know, a lot of times, like when you're trolling, you get a snag, and you know it's a snag because it's stiff, right? But when you got a fish on, she's jerking, right?
So for line, are you guys like a straight braid to furrow, straight braid to mono, straight braid to steel?
This summer I started tying my own leaders, just cheaper, and you go through a lot. When like one fish, two fish, your leader can be chewed up pretty good sometimes.
So your leader material is what? Is it?
It's steel. It's steel.
Pound?
No,
Steel?
it's steel. It's a 290 pound, just steel wire tied or wrapped, I guess. But I just tie 15-inch sections to 12-inch sections, depending on what bait I'm using. But yeah, it's mostly just steel. I did use the Husky Musky leaders for lots of years. They're great, but it's cheaper as a guide to just make your own.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I use
Does that change the action of the bait? I guess not. With
They always
baits this size.
do say, like, if you're throwing like a stick bait, like if you're casting a stick bait, you want to use a stiff leader. I don't know if
but the bait does work a little better.
it would work. Yeah.
Like say a hellhound or something.
Yep.
You know.
Are they made? I guess they're kind of made to be because people know you're going to be using a leader, right? Like these manufacturers,
Yeah.
so they're made to run with a leader. I
Yes.
would think.
Yeah.
I would think.
For sure.
Another thing that I would do if you want your bait to run as the best as possible is take away the snap and just use split rings. Like you kind of eliminate that offset kind of at the front of the bait. I do that. I do all split rings to all my baits now after seeing other guys do it, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Because of the ungulated,
Well, it's one less thing to fail, I guess. Like you can get a split ring that can hold up to like 200 pounds or whatever, and then you'll never open up a split ring if you have like those snaps. They can open up, they can fail. It's just one less thing to fail, I guess. Because sometimes a hit of a musky, or even just you setting the hook into a musky, it's like setting into a log.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but I think Sean asked it. What's your main line?
100-pound casting. Usually 80 if you're throwing lighter stuff. Like if springtime baits, you're throwing all braid. Yeah.
All my rods are 100-pound, even my trolling rods.
Yeah.
J-braid out.
Does J-braid make 100 pounds?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, we sell so much stuff in the saltwater market too. We make 100 pounds. That new J-braid Grand, well, it's not even new. It's a few years old now, but it's 4 times more abrasion resistant than anything, and it's so smooth because the material it's made out of, which was a Xanus, like there's no coating on it. So people feel like that's so smooth, but there's no coating. So there's like not like any of the other brands where it wears off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That stuff's phenomenal.
Oh, it's super soft.
Keeps
I love
your
it.
reels
That's all
clean.
I throw is this.
Keeps the reels clean, your hands clean, like everything. So man, now you guys were talking about girls that fished, and you're talking about your girlfriend Erin and stuff. Like you guys, like your guys' girlfriends and Emma, I believe, like they fish, right? Like they're hammers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I think you said your girlfriend caught a 50, right?
She's got a 50 and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Anyway, how's
and then I had a privilege of meeting your girlfriend Erin a few weeks ago, and she also works in like the fishing industry as well.
Yeah, she's when we first started to like dating, she really took on the love for muskies like I did, and she just ran with it. She's killing it in the industry. She's
got a boat too, no?
Yeah, she just got her first boat this summer because I'm up north for the summer. So she's like, well, if you're not taking me out fishing, I'm taking myself out fishing.
good for her.
Right?
And she, for her first time out with her dad, I think they got 4 in the Kawarthas. So
she's a better guide than you are.
she did pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. There we go. Well, man, this was cool. Like we learned a ton of stuff tonight.
Absolutely.
Like, I almost think we're gonna need a part 2 closer to the spring with you guys.
Yeah.
Like before opener.
Maybe at the CanCast we can do a live one.
We can
Or
do
it'd be a little-
Whoa. Listen. I didn't want to say it on the air, but there is a seminar room if we've used it. And now I'm like, man, we should like get these guys talking.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just thinking like
What's the date for that?
April 2nd.
Oh, I think I'll be able to swing that one.
Well, you got it. You can't miss it.
Yeah. my season ends up north.
Put a booth in. You'll have freaking clients booked for the year.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing. We got a lot of messages about guides. There's going to be guide services there, and we got a bunch coming.
Right.
There's so many people coming. So next show, we're going to go through the vendor list. We're going to go through the whole vendor list. There's so many freaking people coming, man. Like, it's crazy. Last year, there was 90 10x10 booths and 50 tables. We already have 145 10x10 booths sold. Some guys will be 10x20, but get my point.
145.
Yep, and there's already 65 personal
145,
tables.
you said?
145, and there's already 65 personal tables booked.
For the tackle swap.
The tackle swap.
Yeah. Wow. So you don't understand like how many people are coming to this show, like as far as vendors. We've had to hire an auctioneer just so we can tell you them all in an hour.
There you go. It's cool. The Maniacs are going to be there. Right? I haven't. Should I be talking to Kate or you? Because like, I feel like I got to put this through the box.
Let's talk to the girl that catches.
Right?
So, no, I'm kidding. She's awesome. We're good. She's good. She already confirmed your booth. Don't worry. So, actually, we do need to talk after this because I got you guys down. I'm like, I wonder how big they need because there's gonna be a lot of people looking for Musky Maniacs.
How many different garments do you have, John? Like, do you have?
We got lots.
Like how many SKUs you got?
Did you say how many different girlfriends do you have?
Garments.
You got one.
Garments. I think he said girlfriend. Did you say girlfriend?
Nice.
These musky guys and chicks, I don't know, man. It's hard to figure them out.
We got a ton of different logos. Like we're gonna make some new logos just for the CanCast show.
What?
Exclusive logos for CanCast?
Well, yeah.
I want number one. I want to buy number one. I'm gonna frame it. Yeah.
Show special.
I'm gonna frame it in my office.
I don't know if he's gonna let number 101 go.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's number one.
I don't know. Look at this. I don't know.
So, Greg, are we doing a Musky seminar? He's going to be too busy getting rich, making money. Are you going to do a Musky seminar?
Yeah.
He can join you. You guys double team it 1 hour.
I'll try one out.
We should do a Musky seminar.
I'll sit with him.
There we go. We'll put you in a seminar room, make you look all good.
Oh, yeah.
That's not hard.
I'm excited.
Honestly. Okay, guys. This was awesome. I think we should do it again. Next time when we're on the air, vendor list. We're going to talk about a lot of cool details. We're going to have some deals to announce, new show sponsors, stuff like that, ticket details, all that stuff. Please watch our social media. But before we wrap this up, any final thoughts? Start with you, Mark.
Oh, jeez. Happy New Year.
There you go.
I held a sloth.
Yeah.
Named him Sean.
I hate you.
Sean?
Don't be afraid to dip into this stuff.
Yeah, I actually am a little inspired tonight.
Big time.
I've always been interested in it, but it's always been when fall comes, I chase bass, and I do a lot of trout fishing in the fall, like September when the seasons are open, and then it just seems to be duck season and deer season.
Right.
But now I'm thinking some cold days on the water might not be such a bad idea.
I know on my DIY order this year, I'm going to be ordering up one of those 400 Lexus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and for what I'm hearing, it doesn't have to be a fall thing,
No, that's what I mean. It's
all season.
It's
all season for sure.
Are those bright sunny days better than or do you want overcast?
I find steady warm weather.
Yeah,
not too hot, steady warm weather.
Consistent.
So they're firing up.
Bluebird skies, overcast doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's you want fronts and stuff.
Yeah,
but
like deer.
consistent weather is great. When then you get those evening storms, that's just the cherry on top.
Yeah, for sure.
So you'll go out there in the pounding rain?
Oh, no. I've been soaked a few times, but not if it's pounding.
Not if he's wearing a Musky Maniacs raincoat.
I'll stay out there though.
All right, on.
Yeah. So before we get to your guys' final thoughts, we have a Geiger Tech giveaway. We're announced on our social media channel in a separate video.
We're going to give away a Geiger
Tech Pro Mount, and I'm going to extend it. You guys all have one more day after this show goes live to enter.
Wow.
It's a $400 mount, people.
Wow.
Billet aluminum.
It's
and
unbelievable.
We're going to be announcing our next contest with the Musky Maniacs to give away this coat and a hat. So watch on that. We'll post the details. Any final thoughts for you guys before we let you go for the night?
Not too much. I say if you need any fishing gear, go to Peterborough Pro Tackle. They got a wicked selection.
Yeah, they do.
And you can get your stuff there all year, correct?
Once we reload, we're gonna be back in there. He's actually extending his clothing part of the store, so it's gonna be looking good in there. We'll have her stacked up.
Nice.
We're just a bit low right now after Christmas, so we're just working on getting stocked up for the upcoming shows and everything else. So yeah, time will tell. We'll get her.
Nice.
Greg, you?
Happy New Year. No.
You got to wrap the show up.
Yeah.
It's all on you right now.
All right. Well, thanks for having us out here. It was a pleasure. Can't wait to do my first seminar at the CanCast. And I'm looking forward to winter ice fishing.
Yep.
It's here. It's upon us now.
It is.
And
Remember when we went ice fishing last year and Greg was there and he did a shore lunch for everybody out
It was
there?
good.
It was
Unbelievable.
amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sean didn't.
Yeah. He's
catch
not only a
anything
good
down.
guy, he's a pretty good cook.
Yeah, he is. It was excellent.
with a good mustache.
Right.
Oh, there's a reel in here. Let's take this one home. Just realized that. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the people supporting the show. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please subscribe.
Yes, very
We
important.
need you guys to subscribe. It helps us keep going. Please subscribe. I know you're listening to this right now. Hit the subscribe button. Download it on Spotify. Do what you guys do best. Stay awesome. We'll see you at CanCast on April 2nd. We'll see you back here in a couple weeks. Thank you, and have a great day, everybody.